The sunshine came out today, and it's shining all over the world, shining all over the world. The sunshine came out today.
All right, why does social work matter? Social work matters because we get to make a difference in the lives of people. We get to make a difference in the lives of children and families, and we get to make a difference in our own lives too, which is excellent because how often can you get to do that in a job?
Social work matters because we have, unfortunately, a lot of social injustice in this country, and social work is a historic profession that has always fought for the underprivileged, underserved, and those who are not being treated as well as they should be.
The sunshine came out today, and it's shining all over the world, on every man, woman.
Social work matters because it believes in social and economic justice for all of our clients. It also believes in cultural diversity in all its forms, racial, ethnic, gender, sexual orientation, ability and disability, for age diversity, and all other forms of diversity. Most importantly, it believes in empowering individuals, families, groups, and communities.
And it sure feels fine when the sunshine shines. It warms your skin and your soul within, and the birds sing do 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 do. The poor man and the million.
Social work matters to me on two major levels, on a very selfish level and on a more generous level. The selfish level I'll start with. I find that being a social worker has been a wonderful thing in my life because it helps me to remember on a daily basis that I am very, very lucky. When I think about the clients we serve and the lives that they live and the lack of opportunity that other people have, and what our job is to really help people find access to opportunity. There can't be a better job than that. And also it really keeps you grounded. It keeps you reminded at all times that your life is really quite privileged. And so from the selfish point of view, that's why I think social work matters to me. On a more global point of view, I think that social work keeps us in touch with really what's going on in the world and where we are failing each other in the human race. And we have very lofty goals in social work, but boy, are they the best goals that anyone can have.
And it sure feels fine when the sunshine shines. It warms your skin.
Social work matters. That's actually a very simple but yet very complex answer or commentary. It matters because we're one of the few professions that truly has all the tools, the scope, and the magnitude to accomplish and address the global problems that we've got today. There are many others that we need to tie that in from an interdisciplinary fashion, but the reason I selected social work as my profession was because of the wide, broad, sweeping, powerful application of many tools that we can bring to bear on problems. Without social work, I challenge the globe, or I challenge our culture, if you will, to remove social workers from the equation with the social problems and dilemmas that we currently have, and I'm assuming will grow and grow exponentially. Remove social workers from that scenario for a year, 6 months, 30 days, and I assure you we will have people screaming from the treetops, I wish we had social workers here, because we are the ones who truly can help alleviating the stress and the pain in this particular time of our globe and in our American culture.
Social work matters because we really empower our clients to be able to retake control over their lives and improve or enhance their quality of living. We work with the most vulnerable populations, and they really need us also to advocate for them. So in my opinion, social justice and being able to be an advocate for them is extremely crucial.
Social work matters because there are so many very young children in this world that need social workers, need people like social workers who are going to show them that their dreams are important, that their opinions are important, that their values are important, and that there is somebody there who will always validate what their talents are and what their role in this world is.
Social work matters to me because when one of us is made better, then we're all made better. We live in a global community where my liberation is tied to your liberation.
I believe that as time goes on, more and more social workers will be needed because there are so many jobs that are being done in social work, not by people that have the training that we have. And that training is so special to what people need. And I truly believe that with more social workers that we put out in the community, the better this whole world is going to be. Social work. I love it.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say.
Social work matters because we focus on strengths, and we recognize that everybody has potential for change, and it's our job to help them build the skills that they need to make that change.
Social work matters because it changes people's lives. I truly believe that we have the opportunity to change a person's destiny.
You want me to talk about my beloved social work, and it's my beloved social work because it's more than a job, it's a calling. And I know people say that all the time, but it's true because you can see it in the faces of my fellow social workers and in the students here, that there's a passion and there's a commitment, there's a dedication to being that voice in the wilderness, the people who shine the light on the injustices in the world, and not only shine the light, but actually do something about it. That's why this is my beloved social work. That's why it's our beloved social work.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sophia Jingaleski. I'm Interim Director in the School of Social Work. And the question that I was asked is, why does social work matter? And why is it important? What we do, I believe, is so important for everything. And it's the passion that keeps me going every day. I'll never forget, probably one of the greatest lessons I ever learned in my life was I was in court and I was getting ready to testify on a case. And I'll never forget the judge in the courtroom. It was very busy. It was the end of the day. He really didn't want to see everybody. And the attorney kept pushing for me to come up. So finally the judge said, all right, bring up Dr. D. So I came up, and I'll never forget, I sat at the little booth that I was in, and you know, your knees are shaking and you're always nervous, but you don't really want to look that way. And I'll never forget, the judge looked up at me over his bifocals, and he said, what exactly is a social worker anyway? Now, one of the key things that we have to do, and why social work matters so much, is because so many people don't know what social work is. And so if we can help to educate them and really see what it is, and I said, and here's where you really have to think about your response. What we have to do is empower folks so that not only can they see what social work can do, but they know where we're coming from. And I'll never forget, I said, you know, Judge, I'm so glad you asked that question, because so many people don't know what a social worker is or why what we do matters so much. if you think about social work, try to think of it as, if you think about psychology, it's the study of an individual. If you think about sociology, it's the study of a society. If you think about anthropology, it's the study of a culture. And so when I think of social work, we're the bridge. We're the bridge between the person and the environment. We link people to their situation. We make sure that the techniques that we use are based in a very strong ethical code, but they assist folks. For example, Your Honor, and you always want to show the way it works. For example, I'm working with this particular client who was in an inpatient treatment program. He had been in that program for 30 days. He was released back into the community. They did a wonderful job, and he was back again within 2 weeks. He went through another 30-day treatment program, worked beautifully, was released back into the community, was back again in 2 weeks. On the third time, they called in me, the social worker. And I went in, and as a social worker, we're skilled not only to provide the treatment and to be able to look at the types of treatment that he was receiving, which, by the way, was wonderful. But we also take it beyond that, because we're the bridge to the environment. We're the person in situation and that connection. And so what I did is not only look at the treatment that he was offered within the facility, but what happened when he was released. And you know what I found? He was being discharged. And you know where he was being discharged? To an address. And you know what that address was? The local bar. He didn't have a place to live. And so he was going from place to place. And I got to tell you, the local bar had a policy. Before they'd cash his check, he had to buy something. And if it's between beer and nuts, which one would you take? So one of the issues that I had to do with this particular person is help him to bridge into the environment and into the community, and to make sure that that connection is there. We got him a place to live. We got his check sent to the bank. And we made sure that that connection to the environment was there. And he hasn't been back since. That's why social work matters. And that's why we are more than just a type of treatment. What we deliver is a service that connects people in their situation and connects them to their environment. And what we do is so important because of that, because we see that relationship. And I'll never forget that day in court, because when I got done, the judge said to me, "Why don't we have more social workers? Why don't we do more of that?" And you know why? I don't know. I said, "You know what, Your Honor? I don't know. I think it's because so many people don't know what social workers do, and they don't know how much what we do matters." So I'm thrilled that that's what we're talking about today. And I hope as you think about Social Work Month, you'll think about how much we do matters. And sometimes you don't see it in a daily basis. Sometimes it comes back years later that you've made a sincere difference. So with that, I want to thank you for taking this time, and I look forward to seeing all of you and working beside you within this profession that I love so much. And I hope you do too. Thank you.
Whoa, hey, whoa. I've been waiting on the sunset, bills on my mindset, I can't deny it. Getting higher, higher than my income, income's breadcrumbs. I've been trying to survive. The glow that the sun gets right around sunset helps me realize that this is just a journey. Drop your worries, you are gonna turn out fine. Oh, you turn out fine. Fine, oh, you turn out fine. But you gotta keep your head up, oh, and you can let your head down, hey. You gotta keep your head up, oh, and you can let your head down, hey. I know it's hard, to remember sometimes, but you gotta keep your head up, oh, and you can let your head down, hey, 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 hey. I got my hands in my pockets, kicking these rocks, it's kinda hard to watch this life go by.